Hey everybody, it's Mo and welcome back to One Mo Kidney. Today is a special video. Firstly, because I'm celebrating 5 years post-kidney transplant. Secondly, and more importantly, I have a special guest with me today. Julian, first time on the channel, how's it feel?
Feels great, happy to be here.
You know, I'm in Chicago, I'm visiting him, celebrating 5 years. So I thought, why not? First time on the channel. A lot of people are interested in this. Talk about what life has been like post-kidney transplant. Primarily this donor experience, since you hear about me and I feel a lot of you don't care. This is what's more important. So without further ado, we'll get into it. So like I said, we're here in sunny, hot Chicago.
It's December in Chicago, so it's a bit chilly, but we're celebrating our 5-year kidney donation. So Mo came to visit me in Chicago, and we've just been enjoying the city.
Firstly, how do you like living here?
It's been nice. It's been a lot of fun. We don't get to see each other as often as I would like, but that's why we take time to do these sort of things. It's nice to connect.
Yeah. I try and celebrate every year milestone. I don't know, for me it's like, I don't know, it feels really special and something that I want to cherish and enjoy, because like even moments like this, walking down the street in Chicago with Julian, these are simple things like I couldn't do when I was on dialysis and things I definitely took for granted. And it's nice to get out of Cincy and Columbus and just, I don't know, have fun, see things, eat a lot of good food.
Yeah, we've been eating a lot of good food. Especially, I remember you had a lot of dietary restrictions, and we still got to watch, stay healthy, do the things we can, but we've had a lot of good food while you've been here so far.
Yeah.
We can show some of it. You'll edit it in.
Yeah, I'll edit it in. I'll show some pictures and stuff. This dude's a top tier food critic here in the city. So
gotta get on that Google review grind.
Watch out. Look at this view. So we're now here at the
lake.
Exactly. This is why he's here. The people have heard from me a lot about my experience, but I think they're more interested to hear your donor experience post-kidney transplant. So would you mind talking a little bit about right after and then leading up to now, 5 years later?
Yeah, I definitely don't mind sharing my views. Being a donor is a lot different than being a recipient. I think something that Mo is constantly on Mo's brain, and as a donor, it's something that isn't as close to the front of the brain because it doesn't impact us as much. I think there's I'm living a very similar life to what I was living before. Granted, there is some things that you think about leading up to it and definitely during. Celebrating 5 years is really important. It's a really nice thing to be able to do because, you're never sure that there's a lot of statistics about things that don't work out, health failing again. So it's always important to celebrate these milestones. And it is something that you think about, and leading up to the, I remember going into it and wondering, it wasn't as, definitely before, wasn't as, it's almost a little bit more anxious afterwards, making sure that everything's going to work out. And it's, it's a big relief, but there is always the possibility that things don't work out. So, there's a little bit of that anxiety, but it definitely is supplemented by being able to do stuff like this, hang out, seeing the difference from where you're at and what you're able to do now, going to med school. It's cool. It's just I think that reward definitely outweighs any of the negative stuff.
Have you had any health issues since or during your time with donation, after donation?
No, nothing is really, like I said, there's not much that's really changed for me. I think the biggest thing is just got to be mindful of certain medicine that you can't take. I think that whenever I talk to Mo about these things, he has always had a much bigger impact on him because of his health stuff than it has been on me. Personally, there's not been a big change. I try and stay healthy. I think that's one thing that you have to keep in mind. Essentially, the mindset that I have is that anything bad that could happen would be worse because I only have one kidney, and that is something to think about, but it just encourages me to stay healthy, eat good food, work out. So I have been, I guess that is a change. I'm a little bit more mindful about my health because it is important, but there's nothing, I can't take aspirin. That's a change. I just take Tylenol instead. And in general, it's a very similar lifestyle than what I lived before.
You want to maybe say the best and worst thing about this whole experience you've had being my friend? No, kidding. Being my kidney donor.
Yeah, I think that the best thing is, like, it's nice to feel like you can have a real impact on someone's life, and especially seeing where you were at and where you're at now. It's just like a complete difference. And I'm grateful that it ended up working out the way that it did. The worst thing is just not knowing, knowing that something could happen. That's probably the worst thing. Just you got to be very cautious, and it does change your mindset. At least as the donor, it changes my mindset more than my lifestyle. It's just being aware of that sort of thing.
Last question, unless I think of anything else. For anyone out there considering donation, what would you say? Would you recommend it? Maybe not again?
No, I definitely, I mean, like I said, it's a case-by-case situation, but I do think that people might have a stigma around it, that, again, all the pros outweigh the cons, and if you do take the step to get matched, and you see, if you have especially if you have a personal connection, I think it's a lot easier, but, like, there is a risk. I think you have to be prepared to face that as well, because you don't want to go into it and then have like a crippling set of anxiety after you've donated, worrying about the things that, how your health is going to be impacted. For me, it's not something that I can concern myself about. And again, like, being able to hang out and see Mo go to college and become a doctor, that stuff, it makes it all worthwhile. And I think that people that do decide to do a donation will find the same result, is that it is very rewarding. And, just being able to help someone like that is not an opportunity that everyone gets. So something to consider, and it's not for everyone, especially if you have other health considerations. If you're young, if you're old, if you're planning on, having kids or stuff like that, it's all things you got to consider. But it's not something that you should immediately dismiss. I think it's worth keeping the option open and looking into it, because, I think it might surprise you how little it impacts your life and how much you can help someone else's.
I thought those were excellent, great points, and it's really great, Julian, to finally get you on the channel. I've been trying. This dude's hard to get, busy man. But I think you provided an excellent and great perspective that not a lot of people see, but a lot of people are interested in, and that's that donor experience. And I'm not going to muddy this video with any of my perspective. I might follow this up with maybe a little bit more of my own thoughts, but I will say this, just what Julian's done for me, of course, saved my life and changed my life, and this whole experience obviously has set me on this whole new trajectory and path and what I want out of my life, and none of it would have been possible without Julian and the gift of kidney donation and this second chance of life that I got. And so I'm so thankful to you and grateful for it all and everything in my life. It's just, I always say, I'm grateful for all the moments, good and bad, that I feel, because it's life, and like I get to feel that. And I remember going through my experience, I didn't know what tomorrow looked like. I didn't know what the next day would bring. And I genuinely thought on dialysis I might die here. Like, I didn't see the path forward. But Julian saved my life. I'm here. I'm enjoying Chicago. We just paid $10 for 12 ounces of hot chocolate. But it was very good.
It was good hot cocoa.
It was very good. And so, yeah, we're going to keep enjoying living life. And until next time, peace.